Somebody got a hold of Trump's account and made him post a Napoleon quote. They're really leaning into the dictatorship aesthetic, huh? He who saves his country does not violate any law. Now, again, this isn't Trump. When has Trump ever talked like this? It's I don't know. It's Peter Thiel, it's Elon, it's someone. It's probably not Elon either. It's someone, I don't know. Vance. It might be Vance. It reeks of Miller. My guess is Miller or Vance. It's not in all caps, so it can't be Trump. I think it's Miller or Vance. I don't think it's Elon either, because I don't think Elon even knows this quote. Vance was saying similar things just 2 days ago. Yeah, I my bet is on Vance or Miller. Probably Vance. It's not great, huh? What am I supposed to say? It's not great, you know? It's less than ideal. They're really leaning in. Where's the White House tweet from the White House account where, hold on, Twitter, White House, where they superimpose that quote over his mugshot? Is this good, chat? Chat, is this good? Even in his replies, his fans don't like this. Well, I don't think that's true. Dude, they are using his mugshot for everything, man. They are forcing this so hard. Look at this. They're using his damn... Oh, wait, that's not the mugshot. That's just the same Rizzler pose. That's his official portrait. They put his mugshot... It's surprising how similar they are. Or maybe it's not surprising. That's not his mugshot. I might actually have them confused. His mugshot was seen in the one meeting room in the White House. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. Yes, the mugshot. They framed his mugshot right outside the Oval Office. It's in the hallway right outside the door. You know, so it faces in, like, so he can see it all the time, which is very funny. He is trying to do the Rizzler stare with both of them. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's the same. He's doing the same face. You know, he who saves his country does not violate any law. They're really pushing for it. You know. To me, that Twitter post was giving permission to his loyalists to commit hate crimes for him. Yes, not to do the standard, you know, this is what the Nazis did bit, but one of the biggest components in the early rise of the Nazis was loyalist judges would give free rein to brown shirts to do whatever they wanted, as long as they were doing it for Germany. They hated the Weimar Republic. They wanted another Reich. So the idea was you might be violating the laws of the Republic, but the spirit of Germany you are carrying forward in your violent attacks, your murders, so on and so forth. You know? Highly recommend going back to Dan Arrow's video about America's coming Weimar moment. It's a good video. It's a very good video. Yeah. Chat, I tried Googling this. Good faith question. What is the Weimar Republic? And Weimar is spelled with V-Y. Nyako, that was hilarious. That was really good. Good one. Keep it up, sport. Who are these not C people? The administration is really leaning in on the dictatorial aesthetic. The funny thing to me, I guess, is that normally, okay, this is like a soy thing, okay? You know how when a trend initially emerges, it's in response to a need, and then later when people idealize the aesthetic that was born of that need, they start to replicate it insincerely, even though they no longer need to, or it's no longer like natural to the moment. A good example of this would be that basically every conservative dresses and looks like shit, but they post AI photos of clean-cut men from the 50s with high-waisted trousers and really nice haircuts and clean-shaven faces. And then you see what they dress like, and they'll post about how, like, back when men were men, and then you look at them in their life, and they're just the opposite of it in every conceivable sense, aesthetically, in their lifestyle values and the way they live. They don't live in small-town America. They don't spend time with their family. Like, there's no connection. It's just like an obsession with the aesthetic. Basically, the people who made this tweet, I still think it was JD Vance, the people who made this tweet and who are running this administration are pro-dictatorship. They're not just wannabe dictators, or maybe arguably currently dictators. They're pro the aesthetic of being a dictator. They're putting the aesthetic first. They're not arriving at dictatorship via the necessary means of obtaining power. They're thinking, how do dictators look? How would a dictator act? What's a cool quote a dictator would post, you know? What's like an epic post that a cool authoritarian leader would put out there before, like, you know, what would Iron Man say? You understand what I'm talking about, right? Like, they're too self-conscious of the fact They're not just doing the thing. If you take a look back at like historical dictatorships, and you can, the Nazis or whatever else, Mussolini, but you can, Pol Pot, Mao, they did this sometimes. There were definitely times when they were, dare I say it, aura farming. But for the most part, the stuff they did was just a consequence of the historical moment. This, on the other hand, in my opinion, this is them approaching it from an aesthetics first perspective. They were literally thinking, what is a cool authoritarian thing I could tweet? You understand what I'm talking about? This is basically like the highest possible level of the guy who gets really into Roman statue aesthetics because he sees other Nazis doing it and he doesn't know why, but he does it because that seems to be the vibe. You're not arriving at this naturally. You're just you're conforming to an aesthetic expectation. Trump would never tweet this. It's totally out of line with how he talks. Okay, but what difference does it make? It means they're self-conscious and unserious. It means that rather than these moves being made strategically in the pursuit of power, they're being made in the desire of replicating the aesthetic components of the power that they seek to have. In other words, the putting the cart before the horse. I think it's another example of unseriousness. But he does want to sound like this, and that's important too. Here's an important thing you have to understand about Donald Trump. No, he doesn't. Donald Trump doesn't want to be an authoritarian. Donald Trump is an authoritarian because it's a way of satisfying a collection of class-based material interests that he has, a personal desire for the satisfaction of his egomania, of his whatever, narcissism. You can armchair psychiatrist it all you want. I don't really care. It's a desire to be popular. If you see how he acts in public, the man clearly just likes his rallies and his applause. Now, I'm not saying that venerates him in any way. I'm saying that he's not approaching this from from the aesthetic appreciation of dictatorial regimes first. JD Vance, on the other hand, totally different story. This guy is like soying out to, we will rebuild the Roman Empire, etc., right? Even though that doesn't mean anything. What the f does that mean? You're going to use what, like unmixed limestone in your concrete? What the f do you mean by that? Pillars are back? You're going to build pillars? It doesn't mean anything. Really, because Trump idealizes other dictators? Trump treats other dictators the way he treated other powerful business and real estate moguls back when he was just a New York City real estate mogul. Which is to say, he sees himself and them as powerful pieces on a big chessboard where with a little bit of shoulder rubbing, a little bit of accolades, he can get close to them, do a little bit of merging, a little acquisition, a little golf game, maybe f their wife. This is a known element with him, It's not really about liking them. Now, all of these, when applied to the running of a government, are fascistic. They emerge in a way that leads to fascistic governance because it tends to be populist leaning. It's very like great man centric. The components fall into place. But most of what we're seeing here from this administration isn't Trump. Trump is just the front man. It's all the people around him. Trump's not making these decisions. He's just saying shit. You understand what I'm talking about, right? It's very unserious. That's why Project 2025 was needed for this run and nothing as crazy happened in 16. Yeah, to a large extent, yeah, 100%. Though the same types of people did try back in 2016. They just weren't as effective, which is why there was a revolving door in the Trump administration. So Trump isn't a fascist? Trump isn't an ideological fascist. Trump isn't waking up and thinking, I will make those subservient to the state. I will administrate the state as like an extension of the body politic. People are cogs in the machinery of the state. Like it's incidental. He doesn't wake up and think of fascist theory or whatever. It's just a byproduct of who he is as a person, of his psychoses, his neuroses, which is different from people, again, like JD Vance. And to a large extent, Elon Musk, though honestly, Elon is so stupid, it's genuinely kind of difficult to fully pin down. I mean, he's certainly a Nazi, or at least highly sympathetic to Nazism, but it's difficult to pin down exactly how aware he is of what he believes. I'm running again into the Sargon of Akkad problem, where sometimes people are so dumb that you don't know if they know what they believe at all. I hope they keep posting shit like this. It's soy. It stirs up the media, which I'm sure they think is to their benefit, but I don't think it serves their interests. I just don't think it does. If you give it away too easy, you give the game away, man. Like, the index, inflation's already rising, okay? There are going to be consequences. Where are my damn eggs? It's like a copy-paste statement from early 1900s Imperial Japan. Well, it's literally a Napoleon quote, so. Opinion on the Nina Turner tweet? Well, I'm glad she's having fun. You're not going to get Republicans, at least not very far gone Republicans, on hypocrisy because they just don't care. So I don't know how effective it is in changing minds, but, you know, it's good to reply guy while you can, right? Saw something about wholesale eggs being over $8 a dozen now. Insane. The dumbass Law and Order quote came from Napoleon. No! He who saves his country does not violate any law. That one, not Law and Order. 760 where I live. Yeah, okay, but keep in mind, a lot of grocery stores are literally selling eggs at a loss right now. Like, they're hoping they'll make back the profit because you buy other stuff at the grocery store. But a lot of grocery stores are selling them at a loss. They lose money every time they sell eggs. They're loss leaders even without the current situation, apparently. Really? Even normally? Interesting. Maybe we just shouldn't eat eggs. Not really an egg guy myself.